Being organized does not always have to look like an aesthetically pleasing closet or pantry. I actually feel like the most helpful organization that I've embraced in my life are those small tips and tricks that have really helped lower my stress levels. So today I'm going to be sharing some of my favorites with you. Thank you to Later for sponsoring today's video. Later is the #1 social media scheduler and is actually a big part of my first tip, embracing automation. Now, although it may be physically impossible for us to be in two places at once, I feel like the closest we can get to that is when we embrace automation in our life. Whether it be having bills automatically prepaid or having any money that comes into your bank account automatically get set aside to a savings account, or even sometimes even just scheduling out an email that has to be sent out the first thing the next morning, automation can not only save you tons of time, but also a lot of brain space. One of my favorite things to automate is my social media posts, and I love using Later to do this. Later, as I mentioned, is a social media scheduler, and what it allows me to do is upload all of my Instagram posts for the week in one go, and then I can drag and drop them into my release schedule. For each photo, I can write my caption and use their handy hashtag search engine to add in the most relevant hashtags for my posts so more people can see them. Then after I've gotten all my captions ready, I can enter preview mode to see exactly what my feed will look like and rearrange any of my scheduled images until it's exactly how I want it to look. And then when it's time for a scheduled post to go up, I get a notification on my phone, and with the click of a button, it's live and ready for you to feast your eyeballs on. Whether you're a content creator like myself, looking to improve the marketing of your own business, or simply just want a beautiful looking Instagram feed, you can try out Later for free or use my promo code to get 1 month free of the Later growth plan. All the details can be found in the description box below. How familiar does this visual seem to all of you? A nice little pile of receipts. Maybe you've got a pile of receipts at your front entrance, or in your bedside table, in your pocket, at the bottom of your purse or bag or whatever. They end up everywhere. What was this receipt for? Instead of having them all over the place, I definitely think a better strategy is to have like a receipt drop-off area. And I like to use this pouch as my little receipt drop-off, so that when I come in the door and I have a receipt from something, I can put it in this bag, and then it's ready for me to, you know, sort it one day into proper files or get rid of them if I realize I don't really need the receipt anymore. It just keeps things from getting out of hand, because otherwise I was that person that would use my front entrance as just like a receipt collector, and it looks cluttery and it stresses you out when you look at it. So this is one really simple strategy to just like eliminate that little extra thing from your brain. And it also means that if you do need a receipt for, say, something like a return or to take advantage of a warranty, like, you know that you can check one spot for it rather than going on that wild scavenger hunt all around your home for it. I use the same approach for business expenses too. I try and keep all of my receipts in designated monthly or quarterly reusable envelopes, so that once tax season comes around, I have everything I need and I don't, again, need to go scrambling to find everything. Getting comfortable with the word no has been a bit of a journey for me, because I'm definitely that person whose instinct is to say yes to anything and everything that comes my way, whether it's something career-wise or, you know, someone asking for a favor. Like, I just want to do everything, and that, as is no shock to any of us, is just impossible. Or at least it is impossible without compromising something like my mental health, because a to-do list that is way too long inevitably leads to me feeling overwhelmed, anxious, stressed, annoyed, upset, and it just spirals. It's not a good situation for me if I'm in that place for an extended period of time. Now when I'm asked to do something, I try and make myself think about, do I really want to do this thing? Or am I just doing it because I think I should be doing it? This especially applies, at least for me, with work opportunities, because sometimes something will come my way that seems so perfect on paper. It would add some special quality to my resume. It pays well. It's just like very impressive looking. But then if I take a step back, sometimes I can find that although there are some significant pros to saying yes to an opportunity, that also can sometimes come with the cost of my time and my energy in quantities that I'm not okay with or I'm not happy with. And I found through experience now that the things that I say yes to that I really am excited about end up being great experiences. The ones that I say yes to that I'm kind of hesitant about are the ones that I end up being like, ooh, maybe that wasn't the right choice. So I learned my lesson, and now I try very hard to fight that instinct to say yes to everything, because you know, not everyone deserves a yes from you. You are entitled to say no, and that protects my energy and my time from focusing on things I actually want to focus on. Your mental health is precious, your time is precious, and you want to treat your to-do list, the things that get on it, as something worthy of being there. We talk about the importance of decluttering and getting rid of excess before organizing our physical spaces, but that same philosophy applies to the way that we handle our schedules. So if you are feeling overwhelmed, look at your planner objectively and see, is there something or are there things that I can cut out here? And at the end of the day, if your obligations are manageable, it's probably going to lead to less spikes of the not so fun emotions from happening in that brain of yours. And that's pretty cool, if I do say so myself. We like to be manageably busy, not overwhelmed forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. I think one of the reasons people get overwhelmed by the concept of organizing is because we tend to bite off more than we can chew. I have definitely made the mistake of looking at an entire room and saying, today is the day I'm going to organize this whole space, and then immediately feeling regret about an hour into it, because you realize the small things that you have to do here and there add up to a lot of time. So what if we were just to focus on those little things here and there over time instead of jam-packing them into one time slot? So I think getting yourself comfortable with smaller organization projects can be really transformative, because if you are doing small little projects once a week or once every couple of weeks, you'll find that over time you'll look around and see that your home is in just generally a much better state. These are things like your medicine cabinet, your front entrance table, your bedroom side table drawer, like those little spots that if you just spent 10 to 20 minutes focusing on, you'd be able to make them look like completely different spaces. My space today is my, well, I don't think you can see it. It's my kitchen utensil drawer. This guy right here. It's not horrible right now, but I have been meaning to take everything out, give it a good clean, and assess whether or not there are some utensils that I don't need anymore or could go into better places, because I don't know, I can't visually see everything that's in this drawer because there is a little bit too much in it right now. I'm gonna try this arrangement out with the rolling pin on the end here because it always moves. So I think that should be good. I don't use this citrus press very often, so I'm gonna tuck it at the back. Same with this lighter. Still can see it, but they don't need to be as accessible. I ended up doing a bit more tweaking around, and I think I'm pretty happy with this arrangement. Got my measuring spoons, my measuring cups, knives, pizza cutter, shredder, everything, all the classics. One thing I did discover while cleaning out my kitchen utensils though is that there are a few things that I'm missing from my collection. So I'm gonna start a note in my phone with a list of things I need to start looking into. Kitchen things I need. One of those things is reusable chopsticks. I also am in desperate need of an actual chef's knife. I have a lot of paring knives, but I need a chef's knife. Or like even a kitchen block of knives. My knives are not good. What was the other thing that came to mind while I was doing that? Oh, a garlic press. Yeah, I really need one of those. That's everything for now, but that actually brings me to my next point, which is having running lists. I know when we talk about lists, we often think about the to-do list, but lists can also be things that you continuously add to over time. They don't just have to be as temporary as a daily list of things you need to get done. The list I created today is a great example of one of those things. Then whenever I'm online shopping or I'm in a kitchen utensil aisle at a store, next time I can pull this up and I can see, oh yes, what is it that I need to get? Here it is. I don't need to rely on my brain to remember everything. I love having a running list during the week of products I've run out of, where I know I need to pick up on my next grocery trip. You can do them on your phone. You can do them on a physical notebook planner. You can ask your smart home speakers to keep track of things for you. There's just so many different ways that you can find a system that works for you and just run with it. I use all three of those methods. So there's just lists happening everywhere in this place. One of the things I think I quickly realized once I had moved into this apartment, even when I had a roommate, was that there are a lot of things that you have to keep track of. There are contracts, whether it's your lease agreement or the contract that you sign with your internet provider, cell phone company, hydro, all the fun things. There are manuals for all of the furniture you just finished building, bills for all the services that you're paying for now. The list goes on, and especially when it comes to things like contracts, you're gonna wanna be able to access those things quickly and know where they are. Just like having a receipt drop box, I think, again, creating one area to store all this information is really helpful in the long run, because you might not feel the desperate need for it in the present, but one day when you have to access something, you're really going to appreciate your past self for putting time and care into creating this system for yourself. I actually have a filing cabinet in my office, and in my filing cabinet, I have these designated folders that have things for the apartment. Everything is properly labeled so I can easily find what I'm looking for. If you don't have a filing cabinet, even just creating a designated home binder with some page dividers that are clearly labeled is a life changer. I did this too for school as well. Whenever I had a class, I would create a binder per class or a binder per semester to put all of my syllabi in. I think that's the plural of syllabus. Why am I already doubting that? Did I go to school? I'm looking at my diploma right now. Yeah, I did, but obviously we're in a digital world, so there's a lot of us that have that information virtually on our computers. So if that's your case, then take that extra step to create a folder, a home binder folder, where all those specific documents can live, and go ahead and back up that particular folder at minimum on more than one device, so that if something happens to your computer, you are not going to find yourself in a pickle because you know that that important information exists elsewhere. I even have a designated home email address, so anytime I have to sign up for something related to apartment expenses, whether it's, like I mentioned, internet, renter's insurance, rent, you know, any of those things, if I have to provide an email, I give one specific email that's separate from my personal, so that it's also easy to just go into that email account and keep track of everything. I'm approaching the end of my workday, and whenever I am approaching the end of my workday, I like to take just a few moments to review what I did on this particular day, because I think there's a lot of magic in recognizing the things that we have done, because we put so much focus on all the things that we need to do, that it's like, take a moment to just give yourself a little pat on the back for whatever it is, big or small, that you did get accomplished today. And then I also use this as an opportunity to check in with my calendar tomorrow, so I know exactly what's coming up for my workday tomorrow and there are no surprises. It also kind of lets me mentally prep for that work that I need to get done the night before. Tomorrow I'm looking at my calendar and I've got quite a bit of editing to do. So it is going to be a cozy outfit kind of day, because whenever I'm at my computer for long periods of time, I want to be as comfortable as possible. And I also like to use that opportunity to kind of get my desk together, clear up any clutter, and just get it ready to go for tomorrow me, so that when I do start work tomorrow, it's with a nice, clean, tidy environment and not something that's carrying over yesterday's chaos. Thank you again to Later for sponsoring today's video. Do not forget to take advantage of my promo code that gives you access to 1 month free of Later's growth plan. It's such a great way to try out all of Later's features for yourself. All the details can be found in the description box below. Tell me in that comment section, what is your #1 organization hack? Like the video if you enjoyed it, hit subscribe and the notification bell if you haven't already, and I will see you all very soon with a new video. Until then, bye everyone.